This is Season 2, Episode 41 of the Emberhart podcast, the space where we forge resilient character and empower the next generation of girls and women to lead with courage. So, mute the distractions, buckle up, and let us waste no more time. Here we go. Beyond Success, climbing the David Brooks' second mountain. Dear Amelia Emberhart, every once in a while you meet someone who seems to radiate joy. There is something different about them. They glow with a quiet inner light. They are kind, attentive, and genuinely delighted by small pleasures. They feel grateful for the larger ones. They are not perfect. They become tired, stressed, and sometimes make mistakes in judgment. Yet they live in a way that feels deeply grounded. They are not obsessed with themselves. They have made firm commitments to something beyond their own success. They seem to know why they are here, and they draw satisfaction from living out that calling. They carry the burdens of others without resentment. When you speak with them, they are interested in you. They make you feel valued. The joy they carry is different from the temporary highs that come after victory or achievement. It is deeper and more permanent. It often grows out of a life lived on what might be called the second mountain. See the book by David Brooks. The first mountain. Most of us begin life climbing the first mountain. This is the mountain of achievement and identity. On this mountain, we separate ourselves from our parents, cultivate our talents, and attempt to make a mark on the world. We measure progress through reputation, recognition, and comparison. Success on this mountain is easy to recognize. It looks like titles, promotions, social circles, financial stability, and the visible signs of accomplishment. The voice guiding us often says, I am what the world says I am. The first mountain is not wrong, it is necessary. We all need to develop skills, confidence, and independence. Yet many people eventually discover something unexpected. They reach the top and feel strangely unsatisfied. A quiet question begins to appear. Is this all there is? Sometimes this realization arrives gently. Other times life pushes us off the mountain through failure, disappointment, or loss. What once looked like a steady upward climb suddenly reveals itself as something far less certain. The valley. Between the two mountains lies a valley. The valley often arrives through suffering. It might come through heartbreak, professional failure, illness, or a deep personal crisis. These seasons expose the deeper parts of ourselves. They remind us that we are not the polished versions of ourselves we once presented to the world. In the valley, the parts we tried to hide are no longer hidden. Some people retreat from this experience. They close themselves off, nursing grievances and protecting their wounded pride. But for others, the valley becomes a turning point. Instead of shrinking away, they look deeper into themselves. They begin to feel a yearning to transcend the narrow concerns of the self and care for something larger. Their identity slowly shifts. They begin asking different questions. They become less interested in what others expect them to want. Instead, they begin searching for what is genuinely worth wanting. To move toward the second mountain often requires letting parts of the old self die. One day a realization emerges. Perhaps the first mountain never truly was my mountain. The second mountain. The second mountain is not about personal success. It is about commitment. On this mountain, people make promises to something beyond themselves. A commitment means choosing something without expecting a reward. It is falling in love with a cause, a community, a vocation, or a family, and then building a structure of life around that love. This structure becomes especially important in moments when passion fades or motivation weakens. The second mountain is where people discover a different form of joy. It is the quiet satisfaction that comes from living a life directed toward service, connection, and purpose. This joy often arrives unexpectedly. It rises up in moments of gratitude, wonder, and hope. The moral ecology around us. Our lives are shaped by the moral environments in which we live. Every community creates a moral ecology, a set of values and expectations that quietly guide behavior. These microcultures influence how people treat one another, what they admire, and what they believe a meaningful life should look like. There is always tension between individual freedom and social connection. In societies where tradition and expectations are too rigid, people feel suffocated and rebel. But in cultures where the dominant message is simply be yourself, people often feel isolated and loosely connected to one another. Freedom without structure can leave individuals feeling lonely and uncertain. Human beings do not only want freedom, they also long for belonging, commitment, and meaningful bonds. The illusion of the Instagram life. Modern culture often offers young people confusing guidance. We celebrate highly successful individuals who later claim that success is not what matters. A famous entrepreneur or author might tell an audience that failure is a gift and that career achievements are not the most important things in life. But advice like this can feel hollow. Failure may look noble when it leads to eventual success, but for many people the path forward is far less clear. Young people often ask a simple question: what should I do with my life? Instead of offering direction, society often hands them a series of boxes. First comes the box of freedom. You are free to choose anything. The future is wide open. Then comes the box of possibility. Dream big, take risks. The journey is the destination. Then the box of authenticity. Look within yourself and discover your passion. Finally, the box of autonomy. You must define your own values and create your own truth. While these ideas sound empowering, they can also be overwhelming. A person is told to discover their authentic self before that self has even formed. As students, life is structured. There are assignments, exams, and clear expectations. After school, that structure disappears. Suddenly, a person must learn to navigate long-term goals and life direction without a clear map. Freedom becomes both a gift and a burden. The danger of an aesthetic life. Exploration has value, especially when a person is young. Trying unusual paths can build courage and identity. Taking risks can show someone that they are capable of far more than they once believed. These experiences create what might be called identity capital, the knowledge and resilience gained from stepping outside predictable paths. But if exploration never leads to commitment, life can become purely aesthetic. An aesthetic life judges everything by surface experiences. Activities are evaluated by whether they are interesting or boring, pleasurable or painful. One job follows another. One social circle replaces the next. Encounters multiply, yet few leave lasting meaning. A person meets 20 people in a week and remembers none of them. Life becomes a collection of experiences rather than a series of meaningful projects or ideals. Fear of missing out keeps the person moving endlessly from one possibility to another. But if someone never says a permanent no to anything, they rarely say a full yes to something meaningful. Choosing what to pay attention to. Learning how to think deeply means learning how to guide attention. It means becoming aware enough to decide what deserves focus and how meaning should be constructed from experience. Without this awareness, the noise of the world easily takes over. The goal is not endless freedom. Freedom is more like a river that must eventually be crossed. On the other side lies the place where a person plants their feet and commits to something meaningful. The climb that truly matters. The first mountain teaches us how to stand. The second mountain teaches us how to give. The people who radiate the deepest joy are rarely those who remain on the first mountain. Their lives have been shaped by values, commitments, and the decision to devote themselves to something larger than their own success. They carry burdens, yet they glow with gratitude. They do not live only for themselves. And in that quiet shift, they discover the kind of joy that lasts. This is your moment. Take command and show us the path. Thank you for joining me today. If this episode sparked a new insight, please share it with a friend or leave a review to help others find us. You can find more resources at emberhart.com or join the conversation on Blue Sky at emberhartgo.bsky.social. Keep showing up, keep growing, and stay strong. See you next week.